Where is Boxy Boo? But first I want to express a massive thank you for all the support. As a token of appreciation, I've hidden a £10 Steam gift card in this video for one lucky viewer, so make sure to watch the entire video. And before asking, I did try and use my own voice, but it didn't work. Boxy Boo is one of the 3 hidden antagonists of Project Playtime Chapter 3, which was released just over a month ago. However, there are many mysteries surrounding this character and his potential goals, because we never really hear much about it. So today, I wanted to theorize about who Boxy Boo is and what goals Boxy could have in Project Playtime. I believe Boxy Boo will appear as one of the main characters in the 4th chapter. Firstly, who is Boxy Boo? Well, from what we can see, he's just a jack-in-the-box toy within the game. Boxy makes his first appearance in Project Playtime, known for his creepy design and his ability to disguise himself. Boxy may seem like an innocent, meaningless toy, but in reality, Boxy is a ruthless killing machine. Despite Boxy's thirst for blood, not like the other bigger bodies, it was once a toy inside Playtime Co. There were some screenshots from the Project Playtime archive showing what Boxy Boo used to look like on the factory line, as well as some artworks and cardboard cutouts showing that it was actually charming. And overall, Boxy is one of my favorite characters in the Project Playtime universe, although we've barely seen him, except in Project Playtime. I can't help but wonder why put in all the effort to create such a character if he's not going to be in the main game. It seems a bit peculiar, but thanks to Chapter 3, we get some new information that may hint at where Boxy has been and if we'll ever see him in action. As I mentioned earlier, Boxy is yet to make an appearance in Project Playtime, but we catch a glimpse of him briefly on a tape during the Hour of Joy. In this footage, we can see Boxy attacking employees, much like the other toys, amidst the chaos. This suggests that Boxy Boo is indeed canon in the Project Playtime universe. Also, if you look closely, you can spot its toy version at the prototype shrine created by Catnap. I believe Boxy Boo will become one of the main antagonists in the next chapter. Boxy Boo, portrayed as a fictional toy character, appears joyful and energetic, though in his monster form, it's extremely savage, capable of devouring people whole with a giant bite, as shown in the cinematic trailer. Although always hungry, Boxy Boo has a certain level of patience. It can play the long game by hiding in its box and attacking when people least expect it. Now let's delve into why it wasn't present in any of the previous chapters. The Jack-in-the-Box toy, Boxy Boo, was initially created in 1966, 5 years after the creation of Bron. It didn't achieve the success Playtime Co. had hoped for, making it less popular than other toys. It didn't appear in the main lineup of mascot toys in the 90s. However, Playtime Co. soon found a new use for Boxy Boo, but something more ominous. Thanks to Huggy Wuggy's massive success in the 90s, the demand to create more bigger bodies came as a surprise, but now, Boxy was now needed more than ever. Being the first successful bigger bodies, Boxy played a crucial role. The initiative aimed at creating giant toys with human souls inside, using larger bodies as workers to perform various tasks. This helped Playtime Co. effectively increase its workforce without the need for human workers requiring payment and breaks. However, the souls within the bigger bodies suffered severe amnesia, becoming completely new individuals. Because of this, Boxy Boo turned hostile and aggressive, a far cry from being something cherished by children. Therefore, Boxy Boo had a different job. Boxy's new goal was to eliminate all lower-level employees who learned about the initiative. Boxy has become increasingly hostile towards anyone. This then turns into Boxy always needing something to eat, which soon turns into human flesh. This was further evidenced when Harley Sawyer visited Boxy Boo's containment chamber. Boxy Boo could be heard growling and playing his music box while the doctor admired his success, explaining how they said it was impossible and that he challenged all odds, proclaiming this creature as the first of many successor. Boxy Boo has now opened many doors and new possibilities, some of which supposedly lead to immortality, as a human soul could never die if kept within a toy. Then, Harley decided on Boxy Boo's new role, the human grinder. This means Harley plans to use Boxy Boo to devour any unauthorized personnel who know about the experiments. He asks the nearest doctor about the latest events, leading youth to see Boxy Boo in action. Rowan Stoll gains knowledge of Playtime Co.'s true ambitions. Rowan vows to hand over all confidential files to the authorities, though his life is cut short. He writes a letter to his mother after finishing his third and final recording, before he vanishes into a backstage theater. It is here that Boxy Boo will devour him alive. It is also known that Boxy Boo was even hostile towards other toys. When Experiment 1199 was presented to the other experiments, they opposed him and initially harmed him. During the recording, soon after looking to the right, faint music can be heard from Boxy Boo, the sound becoming more and more noticeable until 1199 is attacked by Boxy Boo. The Playtime CO research team quickly responds to this and swarm the content area around 1199, or better known as Bron, as Bron is lying on the floor around a pool of blood, being said to be near death. For him, this incident could be one of the factors explaining why we don't see Boxy Boo in any of the previous chapters. As if the scientists realized that being near Boxy was so unsafe they would refuse to work, so they locked him away far from everyone, where he could still do his bidding, but no one would see him deep underground. Due to Boxy Boo's corrupt behavior, it seems he may not have been the friendliest out of the bunch with many other toys, although there was another creation that was also an outcast, Experiment 1006, or better known as the Prototype. While Prototype planned the Joy Hour, he took into account Boxy Boo's hostile traits, befriending the most hostile and irritated toys, someone he knew could guard him and ensure his safety, just as Boxy Boo guarded the existence of the larger body initiative, being made to eat anyone who learned about it. Now, you might be wondering why someone like Prototype would need something like a bodyguard, considering that all the other toys fear him. It seems he's strong enough on his own. As we already know, Prototype takes dead toys from the warehouse and uses them to become stronger. We can assume this because he adds them to himself, which was further evidenced by Mommy Longlegs at the end of Chapter 2, when she tells us that he will make her a part of himself.
What have you done? You'll make me part of him!
And right after he takes her torso. And this also marks the beginning of the Prototype, but he's even known to kill his biggest follower, the one who revered him as a god, Catnap, ultimately sacrificing himself to Prototype, allowing him to take his body and apparently make himself stronger. This means that even at the end of Chapter 3, Prototype was still taking bodies. He was still trying to become stronger. Prototype wasn't fully formed yet, at least in his eyes. So if something or someone like us decided to pursue him while he was still weak, he would need a lot of help, both from Boxy Boo and Catnap. Yes, Catnap helped attack anyone who opposed Prototype, but you can never be too safe. So Prototype felt he needed someone who would be patient enough to sit and wait, something that Boxy Boo is very good at. The Prototype convinced Boxy Boo to keep him safe even after the Joy Hour. His new job was to now protect the Prototype, so this is why we haven't seen him. But if Prototype was at ground level, why didn't he just leave or kill us? Well, we are slowly hinted to the fact that we need to help Poppy to kill the Prototype. At the very end of Chapter 3, as we descend in the elevator with Poppy, she begins to explain something, telling us that once we land, we need to be careful. There's something, and then she stops because Kissy Missy is attacked from above. But first we need to look at what Poppy said.
Once we hit the ground, we need to be cautious. There's something... What's she doing? No!
As it's important and is very interesting that we're going even deeper than before. We're already very deep under the factory. So I suppose this is where experiments were conducted deep underground, so no one would find them. I guess this is where Prototype hides. Yes, we've seen him at ground level, but down here, it's probably where he spends most of his time. And he's keeping all the dead toys he took, so we already know why we're going down. Poppy is about to explain to us that the Prototype isn't down here, but something else. Now this is likely to be Boxy Boo, as he's patient, as I mentioned earlier, but as well Boxy Boo could have been locked down here because of how unpredictable he had become. So when the Hour of Joy began, he was now tasked with protecting the prototype. And this could be shown from Dog Day's perspective, as he's missing half his body, and who other than Boxy would be able to rip half Dog Day's body off within seconds? But that leads to the question, where is Boxy now? Boxy could have been waiting down here patiently for us to encounter him now in the next chapter. Who attacked Kissy Missy while we were in the elevator? Well, I think everyone's first guess is Prototype, but we've never actually seen him attack anyone, as others always do it for him. Catnap is a prime example of this. And because we have now destroyed Mommy Longlegs and now Catnap, maybe the Prototype will release Boxy Boo, but on the upper levels, Boxy Boo could have attacked Kissy. Given how close we are to destroying the Prototype, Prototype has no other choice but to let Boxy roam free. What do you guys think of this theory? Will we ever see Boxy Boo in the main game, or will he always just be another toy? Let me know in the comments below, and remember to stay curious.
I again just wanted to say a massive thank you for all the recent support on all the videos, all the shorts and all that. And yes, this is my real voice, and yes, I did manage to get it working, but after I edited everything, and I wasn't going to sit there and edit for hours again. So with that, this video has come to an end. I hope you guys really did like it. I tried my hardest to get it right, get the information right, but if you have more theories, just let me know and I will make sure to include them in the next video. Without further ado, good morning, good afternoon and good night. I'll see you in the next one.